Hi everyone, I'm Senator Sharon Hewitt. It's June the 9th and I'm here at the state capitol to give you a legislative update. As you might know, we finished up the regular session a few days ago and immediately gavelled ourselves back into a special session. The legislature actually did that. And do you know that that's only happened twice in the history of the state, where the legislature gavelled themselves into a special session? The significance of that is that we have the ability to set the agenda, and we have the ability to be in session to consider any governor veto. This is significant. The legislative leadership has made the decision that we are working to demonstrate that the legislature is a co-equal branch of government and that we are responsible constitutionally for policy making. And we are no longer going to let the governor establish policy, but we're going to establish policy in the state of Louisiana. And we're doing that largely with the help of a lot of new legislators that we elected last fall and that I was involved in helping to get elected, that have hit the ground running. They campaigned on big issues and wanting to make a difference, and they have. Guys like Senator McMath and Senator Reese and Senator Robert Mills focused on liability issues during this session and unemployment insurance that was going to help us in the COVID response. Guys like Senator Big Mike Fazee that tackled some coastal lawsuit bills and made sure that any settlements or fines or penalties went directly to coastal restoration. Senator Cloud owns a trucking company, and she wanted to make sure that we tackled attorney advertising and made sure that it was not misleading or fraudulent. Senator Bernard brought his clerk of court experience to make our election laws better and our voter registration laws better. Senator Milligan was asked to chair the very important Homeland Security Committee, which was ground zero for the COVID response, and he did that very well. Senator Cathy was asked to chair the Agriculture Committee, and of course brought lots of great legislation that helps that industry along with veterans. Senator Womack strengthened our auditing laws so that local governments fulfilled their responsibilities in terms of an audit before they got any state funding. These guys are committed to making our state better, and together with the leadership that we had already in the Senate, I believe that we're making a difference. The number one issue in our session this year, and we all campaigned on it, was the idea of tort reform and eliminating some of the bad laws that we have that allow for lawsuits to run up the cost of your car insurance premiums. And I believe with Senate Bill 418 and Senator Talbot's help that we passed a great law that will lower your car insurance rates. That bill now is on the governor's desk, and we're waiting to see if he chooses to veto it or sign the bill. We've also identified a couple of small things that we're going to correct in this special session on that particular bill. Some of the other things that we've done that I think were very responsive to the COVID crisis in this session is, one, we took $300 million of CARES Act funding from the federal government and appropriated that to establish a grant program for small businesses that are going to help the heartbeat of our communities recover from this extraordinary shutdown and the economic losses that they're experiencing. We've also appropriated $500 million to our local governments because we know that their revenues are off, again, because of the shutdown. We're protecting businesses from frivolous lawsuits as it relates to COVID also with a lot of great legislation. I had a bill that protects those that are providing services and products like hand sanitizer and masks from being sued for liability reasons when that's not their core business. We're preparing for future emergencies. One of the things we learned in this emergency is that we are not legally able to operate remotely. As a legislature, we have to be in the state capitol, which was problematic. So I passed a bill that allows us to operate remotely in times of an emergency, as well as other local government entities. We also know that our oil and gas industry, which has been the heartbeat of our state for many, many years, needed some attention. So we passed a bill that temporarily suspends severance taxes for the oil and gas industry. We also passed a bill that said that we don't want any more coastal lawsuits and urged and requested that the parishes drop the coastal lawsuits. That was one of my bills. As I mentioned, Senator Cloud focused on attorney advertising. That's something we've been chipping away at for some time. We focused on improving the budgeting process. I've had a 4-year effort with Representative Edmonds to eliminate dedicated funds so that all projects competed fairly for prioritized funding. I'm also focusing on Medicaid funding because it's about half of our budget. We had several folks that brought Second Amendment bills so that our local governments could not take away your guns and your ammunition during an emergency, and I think that was very important. I passed a bill that helped strengthen our cybersecurity laws to help protect us from attacks and to know, when ransoms were being paid by local governments. Senator Mizell passed a rural broadband bill that she's very excited about and very proud of. We know that's a national issue with having access to broadband in our rural communities. I passed a carbon sequestration bill, Senate Bill 353, that's going to clean the air of carbon and inject it into depleted oil and gas reservoirs using the existing pipeline infrastructure to connect both the capture and the storage. We focused on our election process. As you know, municipalities and states all around the country are considering all mail-in ballots, and Louisiana said no to that because I believe, and many people in this legislature believe, that the most secure ballot is the one that you make in person and in private. And so we fought off all of those. Senator Mizell brought a bill on ballot harvesting to make sure that we could limit that and strengthen the requirements for witness signatures on absentee ballots. And of course, I focused on a lot of local issues because those are important to my district, whether it was legislation for Slidell Memorial Hospital or the Harbor Center or the oyster folks or the Pearl River. Those were all important things to me. And I can't tell you how proud I am of the folks that I'm serving with in this legislature. We contributed very quickly in a short 30-day legislative session, and now we are working in this special session to pass a budget and to do some significant tax reform that again is focused on restarting the economy and trying to make sure that we're connecting dollars and businesses to circulate in the economy and to get things moving as quickly as possible. I know that it's hard to get accurate information about what's happening at the Capitol, and God knows you can't always believe everything you hear from the media. But if you want to get direct updates from me, go to SharonHewitt.com and sign up for my email updates. Or right now subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell for notifications, and you'll hear the latest and greatest whenever new videos are added. It's a great day in Louisiana, and I couldn't be more excited about the work that we're doing. I look forward to talking to you. I appreciate your calls and your emails, your prayers, and let's stay in touch, and we'll talk again real soon.